Hello, welcome to Youth Voices of Greater Cincinnati. I'm Kaylin Stacy.
And my name's Anna Gomez.
And today we're interviewing Allie Hock-James.
Hi. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure.
Okay. Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm 25 years old. I'm a model and booking agency for Wings Model Management. I work directly underneath the owner, so I kind of see both sides as a model and an agent. So that's what I do right now.
That's interesting. So the first question is, what do you do on a day-to-day basis?
So day-to-day, I'm in the office mostly, and so I help actually book talent. So a client will send us a booking or a casting, and it will have information about what they're looking for. So say it's a car commercial, and they're looking for a mom and a dad and a kid. So we would go through all the people we have signed to us and select the people we think are best and send them to the client and work with them and kind of figure out who they want and get our clients signed into jobs and get them paid, essentially. That's how they make money.
Okay. You said you send your, the clients that are signed to you that you see are best fitted for
what the client will send. So we have two clients who would be signed to us, and then we have the advertisers or whatever company it is that needs models or actors, and they'll request certain things. They'll send us the kind of lowdown of what they're looking for, and then we'll provide the talent.
So what kind of advertisers do you get mostly?
Major hair care, shaving, makeup, beauty products, clothing companies. Models have been in print magazines like Vogue, Elle, W, Disney TV shows. Can't say exactly what, but Netflix, there's one being filmed in client being filmed for a Netflix series in LA right now. It's a wide variety of things.
So do you work with people worldwide, international, or just around here?
Worldwide. So if you want to work just locally, you can work locally. If you want to be connected with, so all agents are kind of interconnected. So if you came to us and you guys wanted to be actors, you would train, and then we would get you looked at by LA agents, and then if you did well, you would get moved out to LA, and we would be your agent here as well, but you would have an agent in LA, and we would be like your mother agency. So we could get you sent there. We have models in Tokyo, in California, in New York, and all over the world, in Milan, all over the place.
I saw that you were an athlete as well. So how did that life go for you?
I loved sports. Sports were a huge part of my life. I played volleyball and track in high school and played club volleyball in the off season. I had 2 records at my high school for track, for hurdles, and I went to Wittenberg University and played volleyball, and we won a national championship my freshman year of college in 2011. So sports are a huge part of my life, and that I think helped me in this part of my life now, because I'm, especially athletes, you're kind of used to being in front of people and working in crowds and being on the spot and kind of thinking on your toes. It's kind of that way in the fashion industry, as well. So
in that, you mentioned going to college and playing sports there. For what you do, what type of schooling or what certain degrees did you have to get to become?
So it's not necessarily, there's not a required degree necessarily that you have to have. I studied business, so that kind of helped. But if you had a fashion degree, that would be great. But it's not like if you have a political science degree, they'd be like, no way. It's, it's, I think, more of having the willingness to work in the industry, because it can be tough and it's not for everyone, but it's fun. It's super fun.
How did it feel winning a national championship at freshman year in college?
It was the craziest thing. It was insane. The school is a small school. It's like a small Division III school in Dayton, in between like Columbus and Dayton. It's in Springfield, Ohio. And so when we won, the whole school was just like going crazy. And there was like kind of like when we got home, the championship was in St. Louis. When we got home, there was like 1,000 people waiting for us like to get off the bus. It was really awesome. And we all got like rings. We have like championship rings, and they give you a piece of the floor. Like they lay down a special floor for volleyball. You like get a piece of the floor when you win. So that's really cool.
Wow.
Yeah, and you get a watch too.
Did you go to multiple colleges or just one specific college?
I went to 2 different colleges. I went to Wittenberg for the majority of it, and Wright State for just a semester.
What was your basically major, or what did you study?
I switched a bunch of different majors. I was like struggling to figure out what I wanted to do, but that's kind of why I picked Wittenberg, because it was a liberal arts college. So do you know what a liberal arts college is?
Yes.
Yeah. It's just like one where you kind of are required to like not just focus on your major. You get to like are required to do things from all of the different kind of majors. So that worked to my benefit, but I had political science for a while. Business was the majority, but I had political science. I did education for 2 years. And then just like was like, let's go more broad with business. So
As you were in college, you said that you switched between different majors. Even when you switched between the different majors, did you have one specific career option or a couple different career options that you wanted to stay in the range of, or were you just kind of
I was
whatever you felt?
all over the map, all over the map. One time it was political science. Another time it was being a teacher. Another time it was like the fashion stuff. But that was kind of always my underlying, and they didn't have that at Wittenberg really. So that's why I thought business was my best option, because I figured I would be doing more fashion in really real life, in my real life at least. I figured it would make more sense for me to get a business degree to further a fashion career later.
Did you like always wanted to do fashion as like a little kid?
I first signed to an agency. It was actually Wings, the one that I work at now. I signed to them when I was 9 or 10 years old. And then I stopped for a while, like when I was in high school and all of that. I stopped when I was playing sports because I didn't have any time to go to castings or do anything like that. So I was signed when I was young. And then as I got older, I just was always really into clothes and like super into all of that fashion and watching fashion runway shows. And like, I always wanted to be a model, but I never thought like it was really, really possible. So then after college, I was like, just dive in and go for it. Like, just go for it. So then I did, and it worked out.
What was your favorite like model runway show?
Ooh. Well, I'm really
love
into
that.
like the gypsy sport runway shows right now. They're just bringing in all kinds of people into the fashion world. They're like pushing the limits on the like models that you would see on the runway, and it's so awesome. I love seeing their stuff, and their designs are crazy. Like they're so like over the top. They're awesome. When I was young, I was obsessed with America's Next Top Model. But I feel like every girl is obsessed with America's Next Top Model because it's the best. But that was what I loved. I'm obsessed with America's Next Top Model.
So like, what's your like favorite like go-to style sometimes? Like you have like...
Ooh, I like am always down for a good like matching outfit, obviously. Like, I love matching like top and bottoms. I think they're so awesome. I like the like kind of boyish but girly, like lace and baggy, like or like torn jeans and like really high heels or something, you know.
Yes.
Like dressed up but down at the same time, athleisure kind of, I guess.
Talking about like fashion and like go-to styles, like What's your favorite designer so far? Like, brand of
moment.
clothes, like at the current moment.
Well, okay, my favorite designer is Laquan Smith. He's amazing. I love him so much. He has like very like form-fitting designs. They're like really like just like sassy. I love it. He's awesome, and he's kind of new too. He's like a newer designer, so I love always supporting a newer designer. And then my favorite brand, I buy a lot of stuff from Forever 21. They have such good basic pieces that like you can mix them in with everything. Or on the higher end, I really love Zara. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. I love Zara. Zara's amazing. Fashion Nova, obviously, they're so great. They have such great prices on like really trendy items that you can get. And you can do so many different things with them. I know a lot of people use them for shoots. Like if you have to supply your own clothes for it, they'll hop on Fashion Nova for something really like trendy and fun, but they don't have to spend $250 to get it. So those are some good options.
Now that we've talked about your more clothes and fashion side, are you as into like makeup and hair as you are your clothes and shoes? Or
hair, yes. Makeup, not as much. I'm not like crazy good with makeup or anything. I like wish I was. That's one thing I wish I was really good at. But I don't have to do your makeup as much and a lot of the time they like more like for castings and auditions, it's a lighter makeup is what they want. Less is more. They want you to look natural and not really over the top drawn. So I don't really do too much as I used to. I used to love doing the full eyebrow and lash and the whole thing, but now I'm not as much into it. Hair, yes, I have to be because it's a lot.
So like going into more of like the athletic, like what is your like favorite athletic wear? Like we talked about like cute clothes and then like simple.
I think obviously the best go-to is Nike. It's so classic. It'll last you forever. It'll keep you super warm. That's what I always loved wearing when I ran outside. Because I played volleyball inside, but when I was outside, everything was Nike, just because it's really good quality. And I always found it for really cheap. I would go to TJ Maxx or Marshall's, the Nike outlet, and look, because I was not going to pay $80 for a windbreaker that I'm going to like roll in the mud with like at a track meet. Or something, and like lay and have it like get torn or stepped on by spikes. So I was just like, let's get it cheap if I can.
If you wanted to get into modeling, but you didn't really have experience, you just kind of had yourself there, how would you get into it? How would you get started? Things like that.
That's a really good question. So with us and a lot of agencies, you can just reach out to them. You can call, try and set up an interview, send your pictures in, find an email. On ours, you just Google Wings Models, click it. There's like a Be a Model thing. Submit your images and we'll email you if we think you have potential for it. All I can say is get yourself out there. Never doubt yourself. It's really simple. Just try and submit yourself and you can do it.
For people who don't have like as much as confidence like as they need to, like what are some advice you give to them so like they can have like the most that they want or like that they need?
So I would say every single one of us that has started modeling is very scared in the beginning. It's very intimidating at first, just getting up and walking and posing in front of a camera. But just like anything else, like on this, like piggybacking off sports, it takes practice. You're not great at anything, most people aren't. The very first time you pick up a ball, modeling and acting are kind of the same way. Just like sports, you take acting classes, you can take modeling and posing classes. You got to work on it. Stand in front of a mirror and do 10 poses a day if you really, really want to. Go have a friend take pictures of you. If you have a family member or a friend who's a photographer, go take pictures. iPhones are amazing now. They take the best pictures. Walk around the city, walk around your neighborhood, take pictures, get comfortable in front of the camera, because that's one thing that will further your career, being comfortable, or at least being able to seem comfortable in front of a camera.
Is there a specific workout or diet regimen that specific people have to go by, or are you just kind of doing your own thing to keep yourself where you need to be?
There's no like height or weight requirement or limit for anyone to do anything, to sign for an agency. Of course, if there's like a casting and they're looking for something specific, that's a little bit different. But like to sign with us, there's no limit on anything. I don't do anything. I think the main thing would be just no drastic changes in your appearance. So like, don't shave your head, and like, because we have to submit your photos to people, and if you don't look like what you really look like in the photos we send to a client, that would be the main thing. Just kind of staying similar in image, or like letting us know when shooting new pictures before, so we can send accurate pictures of you to the client to get you paid, get you work.
How's acting and like posing classes like for you? So like,
How does it work?
yeah, how does it work?
How does it work? Oh, you just schedule them, and you come in and you read from scripts, and you do different exercises, different training exercises. Posing class is more like kind of runway and posing. I would say actual posing, you should do kind of more like it takes over time, and like doing on your own, and like getting to really know your body, and like pointing your toes, knowing the way you look from different angles. As far as posing, runway classes, for girls, older women, you walk in really in tall heels a lot of the time. Younger girls, you walk in like shorter heels, and you just like practice your runway walk. But I would say classes are really, really fun because they're super educational, and that helps a lot with being comfortable and like your confidence, because then there's nothing to worry about when you show up. You know what you can do. So they're awesome. They're super helpful in a ton of ways.
Is there anything else that we didn't hit on, or anything else that you feel is important, or anything else you want to share at all?
I guess just that anyone can be involved in the industry if you want to be. There's no, I think that there's kind of this thought that you have to be a 6 foot tall, 100-pound model to be successful, and that's not the case at all. Think about commercials. There's normal looking people in them all the time. Not every person in everything is crazy, gorgeous, hot blonde, So everyone can get work. Everyone can be successful if you have the drive and are really wanting to put in the effort to do well. Anyone can do it if you want to. You definitely can. Were you guys interested in the fashion thing? Is that what?
So, I mean, I like designer clothes and not really much makeup, but I like hair products, but I'm not really looking forward to be a model. I'm more of the athletic side than girly side.
There's some fitness models and stuff. Yeah, there's there's an avenue for everything. There really is. There, especially right now.
What is life like working on set? What are your surroundings? What does it feel like?
That's a good question.
What are the
That's actually
emotions you could go through?
It's so fun. It's my favorite thing about it is being on set, both in front and on the opposite side of the camera. I think it's the energy in it is awesome. There's usually always some music playing. There's a bunch of people doing hair and makeup. it's the energy is always really positive and high, and because they want you to be in a good mood, and it's fun getting your hair and makeup done, and it's a great time. It's being on set is a lot of fun, and don't get me wrong, it's work. You're there to work, but it's a great environment. It's very positive, and I think people get in their head like the mean director like yelling cut or like, you know, but it's nothing like that. Everyone's super positive. They give you, you're given direction if you like ever get confused or like run out of poses or something. There's people there to help you. There's always snacks on set. There's always like drinks on set. It's awesome. It's fun because a lot of the time it's a long day. So it's fun. It's a good environment.
What's it like working with an agent or working with a booking agent to kind of get you where you want to be? What is the path that you need to take to get where you want to be?
That's a really good question. So I think a lot of people kind of think you can do it on your own, but that's like the beauty in having an agent and being signed to an agency is without them, it's really, really tough or nearly impossible to get like paid work because the clients come directly to the agent looking for people. They don't just like put up a wanted flyer for models. So that is the importance of an agent. The process of getting one is just the same thing as before, submitting your pictures, coming in for an interview, calling up and speaking. You can do all kinds of things. And then once you get in, you just talk to them about what you, like one of us would interview you and talk to you about what your goal is. Do you want to act? Are you a dancer? Are you a singer? Do you play, like, are you really into comedy? Like there's a Jim Carrey type signed to us who's so funny. It's all kinds of things. You can do anything and come in and tell us, and we'll kind of try and find you those similar jobs. If you're coming in and wanting to move to LA, that's an option too. We could work on that. We have an LA manager coming in next weekend and doing an acting class, 2 days of it. So there's definitely potential. The sky is the limit.
Do like a lot of models do like this like full-time or part-time, and if so, like how successful is it like for them?
I would say the majority of them start out doing it part-time. Because to get higher paying roles, you need to have a little bit of experience the majority of the time. I would say once you have a little bit more experience under your belt, if you go to obviously a bigger market or take a lot more classes and work at it, you could do it full time, 100%. But I would say majority of people starting out do it part time.
So like how much do like models get paid?
So models can make a range of income, like I said, depending on experience. When you first get started, if you were to do a shoot, they pay hourly, majority, and they could start at $75 an hour to being a couple $100 an hour. Younger kids are making a little bit less money than older kids and adults, obviously. And then once you get into the bigger markets, you make a lot more money. If you do a commercial, say, that gets usage, that's when you get up into the thousands of dollars, and that's just locally. So you can make a decent amount of money at it. And that's just one job. Yeah, email pictures, submit yourselves, always looking for new talent. I'd love to take in new talent, especially, like I said, like acting, modeling, dancing, singing, all of it. If you are interested at all in the entertainment industry, come on down. We'd love to meet you all.
Thank you so much for coming today and talking to us and telling us like how to be a model and like your athletic life. And thank you to you guys so much for watching today. And as Allie said, anyone could be a model. And if you want to be a model, go to Wings Modeling Agency.
Wings Model Management.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.